Oh,
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a live recording of the Empowered Podcast. I'm so happy that you are here, either watching or listening here at the Empowered Podcast. You know that everything we do is about finding ways to bring more confidence and courageousness within ourselves from deep within and allow that to radiate out into our life and allow that to show up in ways of compassion and kindness and love and connection with ourselves, with our partners, with our families, our communities. And one of the women that I wanted to share with you through this platform is a dear friend of mine that we've just gotten to know each other. She's all the way from Australia and she's joining us here today. So go ahead and say hello, Michelle.
hi, Diana. Hello, community, your community. I'm so grateful to be here today with you and just having this awesome conversation around empowerment.
Yes, all about empowerment. So, Michelle, why don't you give us a little taste of who Michelle is? What are you up to in life? What lights you up? What's going on?
Yeah. Oh, wow. It's like, how much do I share? How much don't I share? But so what I am right now, like the label to put it on, is I'm a business lifestyle coach, mentor, and speaker for women. And what that means is really helping women to live out their passion and their purpose and make money doing it, right? And it's about, for me, it's really about blending the work that we love, that we're passionate about, with the lifestyle that we truly desire. So that's a little bit, that's my kind of work hat. But when I'm not doing that, I'm a mum. So I'm a mum to 3 boys, and I often say I get the best of both worlds. I get a talk back from teenagers. So I've got twins and they're teenagers. And then I have a 5-year-old who wants to be a teenager. So my world is surrounded by men, and that might be why I want to support women.
Absolutely. There's a lot of testosterone in one house.
It is definitely. So I need to balance that out, right? So
I love it. It's all incredible. And I think that the work that you're doing is so important because for so long, it has been this segregation between this is my work life and this is my personal life, but being able to allow your work to be a part of your lifestyle and let those two blend together and let it be something that's sustainable. So you don't need that vacation from your work life, that you actually get to bring those two together, I think is where a lot of us are moving into and desiring for ourselves. And so your role of helping people cultivate that and find that from a personal perspective, I think it's wonderful and necessary.
Yeah. And you know what, you use the words that I use. I don't believe in work-life balance, right? I don't believe that you can balance the two. So that's where I am. I'm passionate about blending the two. And I don't get it right all the time, right? I'm a work in progress, as we all are, but it is about bringing the two together. So, yeah.
Yeah. And you and I have had some really powerful conversations around masculine, feminine energy, harmonizing those two together. You just recently became certified in EFT tapping. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah. Like that's just a whole new world for me, right? Mm-hmm. Being in corporate, it was very, very masculine, and it's what I knew, right? It's exactly how everything was pushed, do. And, what I've been discovering for myself is how do I become more be. So how do I blend the doing and the being as just one? And that's something I'm still learning, and EFT has really helped me to tap into the being more. So it's been a really good experience.
I think it's wonderful and empowering, obviously, when we bring in the tools that we're drawn to. So exploring what tools it is that we are drawn to and bringing them into our life so that we have this toolbox of resources that we can rely on at any time. And I think that when it comes to harmonizing the masculine, feminine, when it comes to balancing or harmonizing your work with your personal life and that lifestyle that you desire, it requires you to feel equipped with the right tools to support you. Because if you're going to have your work life be in conjunction with your personal life and you're going to go through a period of deep, deep emotion, you have to have the tools to allow you to process that, to be able to continue working, showing up as a parent, doing the things you have to do. And so What are some of the tools that you love to teach with your clients? What are some ways that you love to support them to feel empowered within themselves and their work?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Where do I begin? It was funny because even the start of my journey was very much in the doing, like all about structure, having the right structure and pushing and pushing and pushing. And then with the introduction of EFT, it's really about how do we get the structure, but that we're aligned with the structure, energetically aligned with it, right? So that we're not kind of pushing something that we're not feeling good about, right? And so it's actually shifted how I do my business, which then I'm helping other women shift how they look at business. Because a lot of the time my clients are coming, they're either really into the flow and ease and they have no structure.
Mm-hmm. All in the feminine.
All in the feminine, right? And structure has been my strength for a very long time, and so it's even finding the right balance of the structure, and of the intuitive and connection as well. So some of the tools are, we build a structure together, and then at the end I go, well, so how does that feel? Like, do you feel connected to it? Do you, and there might be some resistance, and then we start uncovering that. And, so some of the tools that I help them is journaling. Journaling is huge. I'm sure you would agree, like a lot can come out from that. Tapping, so a lot of my clients have done tapping in the past, but they've forgotten. Right. And so just reminding them that tool is there available for them, that they can, really help themselves through some of the emotions that come up. Meditation, right? A lot of them, I have women that come that is full structure and they've never been exposed to meditation. Right. And so showing them the world of meditation and I guess that's what I get the thrill of, like showing them all these tools that are available. And it's not just one tool, it's a blend of so many. And it's about finding the one that works for you, finding the blend of tools that work for you. I mean, I did Reiki level 1, right? And that's a tool that I don't use for my clients, but I use it for myself. And that's part of my meditation process, of my protective. Other tools that I help my clients with, I mean, I'm accredited NLP, so I'll go through a visualization process with them. Other tools to help them feel empowered is to really own the decision that they're making in their business, really own it, even when it's
Yeah, I like that. That feels really like a CEO type of energy. Like if you are the one who's running this business, you are owning that decision. You're letting yourself be in the stand of it. That feels powerful.
Yeah, completely. And no matter, even if it works out wrong, own it, even if it's wrong.
Sometimes, I mean, I don't know, Michelle, about you, but I've done a few wrong things in my business in the past 6 years, and I have zero regrets because I learned from all of them. However, if I ever thought I could have a picture perfect business, well, this is not it.
Life is not picture perfect, right? And I always say we are our business, right? Yeah. So, and I have one more tool, right, which is a tool that I've been really heavily working on myself and have refocused, and that's about the tool of looking after yourself, your own vitality, your own health, your own well-being, because your business is a reflection of how well you look after yourself.
Yes, absolutely. Oh my goodness. I was actually thinking about that today. I was thinking about how committed I am to my own growth and my own well-being and my own health. I mean, ladies who are listening or watching, you know that I'm doing a cleanse this month. And while that is personally guided and I'm doing it for my own benefit, it also has such a powerful impact on my clients. And I think, Michelle, what you just shared is so important, because when your business is an extension of you, if you're not in alignment, if you're not flowing, if you're not feeling good, if you're not releasing those pressures or those gripping pieces of your life, then that same thing is going to happen in your business. It's just another reflection of it. And when you look at it through that spiritual lens, the way that others are that mirror for us, our business can be a mirror and our clients can be a mirror. And even if, things are just like you're hitting a wall in your business, things aren't flowing, where else in your life are you not allowing yourself to flow? Or where has that wall come up in your life and you need to apologize to that person or have that conversation or get your butt moving?
Yeah, completely. I know it myself. When I'm not looking after myself, I'm off. I'm completely off key. I'm off balance. And then even I feel bad even showing up for my clients because I'm not showing up for me. So it's important to show up for me first before I can show up for my family and for my clients, right? And that's a huge lesson for me just last year. Massive.
Yeah, absolutely. That just reminded me, I was having a conversation recently and someone said, you seem to have clients between kind of 10 to 2. That's sort of the best time of the day. And I said, well, yeah, that's my best time of the day. That's when I'm most like alert and awake and tuned in. That's why I offer that to my clients, because I know that on the days, I only have 2 days a week I have clients. On those days, they're my full priority. They're my focus. And then I have the whole other 5 days of the week where I get to really pour my energy into myself and create that balance. And I think that's a lot of the work that you do, is helping individuals to understand not just what structure they need personal, and not just what structure they need for their business, but what is their personal structure? What does it look and feel like for them to feel aligned with what they're doing?
Completely. I mean, that's empowering in itself, right? Setting yourself the boundaries, right? And feeling empowered to set the boundaries for yourself. Yeah.
I love boundaries. They're my favorite.
I love boundaries, right? But and the thing is, even boundaries of saying no, right? Having the courage to say, no, I can't book this time in because that's my time.
Yeah.
That's the time that I look after me, And you're right, I do the same thing. Like I block out my calendar. When is the best time for my clients is when I'm at the best, right? So I've done my training in the morning. I've had my meditation. I've fueled myself. I am like, boom, high energy, bring it on, And then having the empowered courage to say and notice when you're not, right? And even I think it would be a disservice if you don't say to your clients, hey, could we perhaps meet tomorrow? And being okay with that as well.
Yeah, and I'm curious in that, Michelle, have you worked with other coaches or mentors who perhaps have done that? They've asked for a rescheduling maybe within 24 hours. That isn't common. Or they've asked for something to shift. What's your reaction when they ask for that? How does that feel when someone asks for that change?
I think this is a work in progress for myself as well, right? Because I'm like, no, hang on a minute. You're not respecting my time. Right? So that's the ego. Straight away, there goes, we're in the ego. And then I quickly reframe and I go, okay, I check in, is everything okay? Like if you need the space, completely understand, right? Of course, if it happens a few times, then you want to kind of uncover what that is. But by me doing it, I allow permission for my clients to do that as well, right?
Yeah,
and so
I think it's really valuable, first and foremost, to have respect and integrity. When you have respect and integrity of your own time, of your client's time, of your friend's time, of whoever it is that you're spending time with, having that respect and integrity of that time. And that's how you hold those boundaries. And then when things need to shift, it's that respect and integrity of what you need to be in your full expression, or perhaps what you need to be of service to them. So I've had the experience in my life where I've definitely had some ego come in the past of, oh, well, why? How come you don't want to meet with me, or whatever's going on? But now it's the full expression of, you wouldn't ask for this if you didn't need it, because I know that you're an integral, respectful human being that honors your own boundaries. Therefore, I have complete ability to say, okay. And what I found fascinating is the few times I've had to rearrange, or the few times that my coaches have had to rearrange with me, it almost always, pretty much always, has been in alignment with what I actually want, or what they actually want. And so it's as though our energies are like, hey, this is not in alignment. Can we change it? And then finally it comes down through us, hey, we need to adjust our calendar.
Yeah. I think that's a really good call out there, right? That you know, it's supposed to be energetically aligned when you do meet, right? And so if one of you are not in that space, then likely the other one isn't either, but they probably just not aware of it. And sometimes it needs to come up. But then there's, and I'm curious to know even with you, but then there's a fine balance of when it's an excuse, right? Because they might be resisting change. They might be resisting in the transformation. And you know, being intuitive, right, that we are beings that we like, we can feel when a client might be resisting, you know, not wanting to change. And then as a coach, identifying that and calling them that too. I think that's a fine balance as well.
I think that's a really, I'm glad you brought that up. That's a really interesting experience. And in this world where everyone is stepping into this coaching field, because we are all teachers in some way, we can all hold space. All of us are the guru of ourselves, and we can all learn from each other. I think for me, the number one thing is then getting crystal clear for yourself and your client on what is that respect and what is that integrity within that relationship. And so I've definitely had clients that I know are resisting, and it's same with you. The idea is, hi, I'm taking a stand for you. You actually paid me money to show up and be here with you in the shit. And this is the shit. And I'm with you, and I got you, and we're going to do this. And sometimes it's well received and sometimes it's not. I'm always fascinated when there's some power that comes out of my voice, because I'm a fairly softer, feminine, energetic type of person. But when I'm tapped into their intuition and what they need, sometimes it comes out a little aggressive. And people have said to me, wow, that's exactly what I needed to hear. And I think, I'd never say that. So that wasn't me.
But see how I want to talk about that, empowered to be able to speak your truth.
Yeah.
That I feel like is true empowerment, like truly being yourself and speaking your truth, even when it's uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's not just about being happy. It's about actually being present with what is here, what is now, what is real.
Yeah, completely. I will never forget where I had a client, and you know, been coaching for a while, but I felt that our coaching relationship had shifted more into a mentorship rather than coaching. And having the courage to turn around and say, I don't feel like I'm coaching you right now. You know, I feel like I'm mentoring you. And when we originally started this relationship, you needed me to get you to A to B, and I got you there, right? So what do you feel like you need moving forward, right? And so it's being able to let go.
Yes.
Right. Letting a client go to kind of explore that for themselves, where, this relationship has shifted and changed, and which is fine. Right. I mean, we become really great friends out of it. But I think that's what empowerment is too, because at that moment, like, I was feeling like, oh my goodness, you know, this is a really uncomfortable conversation. But after the fact, I went, wow. like I felt empowered to the next level, you know, because I came from a place of service. And I think if you come from a place of service, you can't go wrong.
Absolutely. I've definitely found that as well. As soon as you step into that full service, there's always another beautiful gift waiting on the other side. And so letting go of that gripping is letting go of that idea of that lack consciousness too. And that this is what all of us collectively need to be allowing ourselves to step into the way that you have is there is more than enough for all. There are more than enough clients that are perfect to be working with you and your gifts, and same for me and same for those of you watching. And when we come into that energy, the letting go of the gripping is so much more fluid, because it's not, this is, I need you. It becomes, this is what's greatest for all of us. You need to fly in this way. I need to fly in this way. And then immediately those opportunities start soaring into you. I love that. Oh, this is so fun.
I know, but it's a work in progress, right? Even like that is just like letting go of clients, and you know, it actually creates space. It creates spaciousness to allow new clients to come in, to allow new people to come in of service. But it's a tough one, right? It's a tough one for the ego. It's a tough one.
Yeah, and even like in that example you gave, it sounds as though you enjoyed working with this client, you enjoyed the experience, you wanted to continue, but you knew it wasn't fully of service. And just before Christmas, I had hosted a retreat that was all around the concept of release to receive, but from a really deep perspective. And one of the things we did was even release the positive aspects of 2020. We released the parts that even felt really good in order to create that spaciousness for what we're stepping into and what we're inviting in. Because when we're holding on to everything in our life, good, bad, or not, then there's not a lot of that space. And so I love that integrity that you had within your business. And I know that through your work, that's what the level and quality that you're holding with your clients is. This is the integrity. This is the respect that I hold here. This is what I expect of you as well.
Yeah, completely. I mean, we're all leaders, right? We're leaders not only in our own life, but in leading our clients, and then they're leading their clients. So I feel like you can't go wrong when you are in complete alignment to your values and how you operate, and you let people know and I'm open. These are my values. This is what's important for me. And if there's congruency there, if we're aligned, then awesome stuff. And if we're not aligned, that's okay as well, because it means we can perhaps help each other see a different lens of the world.
Yeah, I love that. Michelle, this question just came to me. So take a nice deep breath.
I love it.
What do you feel your true purpose here is? What's your purpose in life? Why are you here?
Yeah. This is something I've uncovered layers and layers and layers, and I feel like I continue to uncover layers. So my greatest purpose at this point, because I feel this can shift and change as we shift and change, is to really help people create a new way of being, right? So well-being, in the sense of how we see it, everyone thinks well-being, or when I say everyone, society, conditioning, whatever, well-being is about health and good nutrition and exercise and movement. No, it's a way of being. So well-being is a way of being, and I really want to help others kind of ignite a new way of being, whatever that is for them, right? Because we all have a different, unique way that we want to be. And I know that might sound quite broad, and how are you even going to do that? And the way I do that is through my work, right? I help them create a new way of being by being themselves, by tapping into their own purpose, their own why, and then being paid for it, right? So that's just the avenue of it. But I feel like there's a new thing that's been starting to uncover for me, and trying to start to explore, because it's like creating a new way of being. A lot of people that come to me want this freedom lifestyle, freedom of time, freedom of money. But I came across an organization that I was looking at their event space, and they were looking at a different type of freedom. And I was saying, well, what do you mean? Like, tell me a bit about that. And it was about modern slavery.
Wow. And
I just went, sorry, tell me what? And so she started to share a story with me about how modern slavery is a real thing right now, where people, and 71% of it are female that are in modern slavery, that their type of freedom is all about personal freedom, which is the complete polar opposite of the type of freedom that I support for my women that come through with me. This is women that need to learn how to use a mobile phone, that need personal freedom of how to do grocery shopping, because they don't have that. Their own personal freedom has been stripped, right? Because they've been put in a situation where it's forced labor, forced marriage, and that to me was a real eye-opener. The minute I heard that, I started to get this massive emotion within me going, whoa, like this was never on my radar before. When I saw something like that, straight away my judgment went, that's political, right? But then there's something inside of me that really wants to uncover this. And I'm like, wow, okay, so here's my higher purpose that I was talking to you about, that's starting to kind of go, yes, I'm helping people create a new way of being, but maybe it's about a way of being even through your personal freedom. So my way of being is not only about having the time freedom and financial freedom so you can do life the way you want, but it's also creating a new way of being for those that are in modern slavery to take back their own personal freedom to be the way they want.
Yeah, you know, that's powerful.
So that, you know, when you ask me what my purpose is, and that is my purpose, to create a new way of being, and I don't know how I'm going to do that, right? And that doesn't matter.
You don't need to know how.
I don't know how. And when I say that, I feel it's so big, right? But I feel like this new thing about modern slavery that's coming into my world, I feel like that's all intertwined. You know, it's really scary to know that how much of that is in our doorstep.
Yeah. Michelle, I'm so happy that you shared that. I think it's really important that we create space to have these heavier conversations, because every layer of truth that I uncover in the world in terms of my spiritual beliefs and energetic healing and connection and how soul essence and all these aspects is unity, that we are all connected, that we are all one, which means that those are our sisters who are struggling. We don't have to know who they are. We don't have to see their faces, but we know that there are parts of us as a collective that are in struggle, that are in fear, that are in pain.
Oh, I lost you.
Are we back? We're back.
We're back. I was like, great.
Just what I was sharing is that it's really important that we know that it's not just the glamorous aspect of our own freedom that we're seeking, and sometimes that leads us towards it, which is fine. It's completely fine to have that guidance. If I want the money to be able to have the space, I want to buy the things, I want to go on the trips, I want to do whatever, that's great. Let that motivate you if that's what motivates you. But know that you reach a certain level when you realize that it's about so much more. It's not about me anymore. It is about us, the collective us, and how we can show up and serve. And that's why, Michelle, in my business, I have always, at least 10% of my revenue has always been donated to either charities or nonprofits, or even just people who need the money. Like people who are going through, freak accidents or situations where there's just no freedom for them to be able to do and be who they used to be. Just send them 1,500, send them a couple thousand, whatever is going to serve humanity. And the more that these conversations like you just brought forward are coming up, the more we realize there's more places we can pour our energy. There's more people that can use our support and our guidance and our love. And when we feel ourselves full and are overflowing, we have more to give, which means we get to serve those sisters who are in that struggle. I have so much space in my heart for what you just shared. Thank you for that.
Yeah, pleasure. And I feel like when we see that it's beyond us, that's when I feel like you're truly living your purpose, your reason for being. Yeah,
I agree. It's like this vessel that we have, this beautiful body, the energy that flows through us is so incredible, and it is for purpose. It is for service. It is to share with others. And it's so much more than just existing. We don't exist to pay our bills and get through life. We exist to be the love, to be the compassion, to be the light that we desire all beings to experience. And we get to do that through ourselves and of service to others.
Yeah. Can I share something just like on that, right? It's totally random, but yesterday I was at the beach, right? And there was some dogs in the water, right, and playing. And this this woman was sitting there and she said to me, do you think the water's clean because of all the dogs, you know? And I'm like, so straight away my kind of defense went up, right? I said, well, I've got my little boy in there. He's playing. I go, seems to be okay, you know. I've seen people before in the water, right? And then I sat there and I thought, I started going into judgment. I go, how could she ask that? Blah, 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 blah. And, you know, and then I thought, was I ever like that? Did I ever judge going, oh, the dogs are there and the water are there? And I'm like, yeah, I did at one point. And then the thing that came to me is like, we are all connected, right? This is like the dogs, the water, the sand, the trees, it's all connected. We're all one, you know? So, and that was kind of like a huge revelation for me. Right? Just going, I don't care if there's dogs there. I don't care because we're all connected. We're all one, you know. It's not about dirtiness and things like that. How many times have humans gone in there and just, you know what I mean? Like no one goes, I think it's clean because the humans are in there. Like no one asks
Of
that.
course. And how much of our human waste is just like put all into the ocean. Yeah. When you come into that, that's what I consider the concept of unity consciousness of letting ourselves see and feel, not just see, not just know, but feel that full connection. And when you come to that place, it's like nothing matters and everything matters.
Yeah, totally. Even like today, like I was meditating out the backyard and the birds were going and I could hear my husband go, shh, shh, trying to quiet the birds, you know, while I'm meditating. Bless, I love it. And I said to him after, I go, I don't mind that the birds are chirping. I'm totally fine with that. And he goes, oh, but I didn't want to interrupt your meditation. I go, you go and she's interrupting my, you know. But it was just like, before I used to look at the world that way, you know, but now my lens of the world has shifted going, yes, we are one, you know, and yeah, it's an interesting, I know we kind of went off topic, but I just wanted to
That's what this podcast is all about. For those of you who may be new to this, I'm not that structured. I'm working on getting a bit more structure, but I really love to allow the fluidity, and I love where that conversation flowed and went. And one of my yoga teachers in the past shared with me, it was actually one of our sisters here in the Empowered Woman Collective. Her name is Sonia. For those of you who don't know her, she's a wonderful yoga teacher and energy healer and channeler of the Oracle. And she shared with me in some yoga class at some point that in meditation, they used to put the monks in the most distracting locations, sometimes beside or right beside a garbage can that was full of stench, that was full of loud noises everywhere, and bring them or invite them into meditation for the purpose of meditation is not to escape the world. Meditation is to find your harmony within the world. It's to find that peace within that involves everything that is with and around you. Because if I've noticed this in myself, I'm really good at isolating into my happy little cocoon and everything's fantastic in Deanna world. And then I go out into the real world and suddenly everything's really hard and I get triggered by everything. And all these occurrences are happening that are causing me to feel friction. So that's the invitation for me, I find, to come into how can I harmonize with both? It's not about isolating away. It's about coming in together. So you were already tapped into that and feeling that. And your husband was just trying to support your journey.
I love it. But do you realize like how different people are in the world that are not at that level, right? I feel like I'm going on 10 times slower motion than ever before. I don't know, like I can start seeing the people around me that are just so more anxious, that are like going at 100 miles an hour. And I feel like, you know, those slow motion movies, I feel like I'm just like this.
And the joy is just, I do find that as well. And actually, even this month doing a cleanse, it means that I've literally released caffeine, meat, dairy, sugar, all the things, and that heightens all of my senses. And so I have been very super heightened aware of what is occurring in others, and I can feel their energy so quickly. And that anxiousness is, it's exhausting. It's exhausting to be with. It's exhausting to be around. It's exhausting to be in conversation with. So I think that when we take the space for us to slow down, to be with ourselves, to explore who we are, to find that freedom, to find that empowerment within, we can start to see the imbalances that are happening in humanity. And then from that place within us, begin to love that aspect, knowing that at one point we were there as well. And that's okay. And they don't have to be where we are now. They will find their journey, but we just offer our heart, offer our compassion, offer our love, bigger, wider, bigger, wider, bigger, wider, until we can just hug the whole world.
Yeah. I love that. Wouldn't that be awesome? We all have a big hug of the world.
Oh my goodness. I would love to just be in a big cuddle puddle with 100 of us, of our sisters, not just random people, but of us. I'll just hug each other. As we begin to bring this lovely conversation to a close, before we hopped on, you were talking about something that you have coming up next week. And I was wondering if you'd be willing to share it with everyone here on the podcast and in the Empowered Woman Collective. What do you have going on?
Yeah, love it. Well, next week I have a 5-day online training, which is all about becoming your own boss lady in 2021. And what that means, boss lady. So boss lady is very much of the balance of the masculine and feminine, right? So
I love it.
And over the 5 days, we get really clear on the vision of what type of business is it that you want to birth. We plan an exit strategy if you have got a current job and then you're looking at making the shift out. And then we build a business blueprint so that you can get started in your business with the clarity. So you have a loose, aligned structure.
I love that. Yeah. Structure but space to flow.
Yeah, that you feel aligned and connected to. So it's absolutely free. Now, I can't post the link in the comments while we're here, but I might pop back in your group and put it in the comments later on. Yeah,
go ahead and do that. And so that's happening. Is it next week? Is it Monday to Friday?
So it'll be your Sunday to Thursday.
Oh, yeah, and so you're Australia.
Yeah. So, and it's 5 p.m. PST time every day. Yeah. Okay.
So that's January 17th till January 21st at 5 p.m. Pacific each day.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So we'll make sure that everyone who is here watching, or if you're listening on the podcast, I'll make sure in the show notes that there's a link for you to register. Those 3 things you outlined that are going to be happening in that training sound fantastic. And I know from previous conversations here in the Empowered Woman Collective, I know some of you have been wanting to birth a business. You're feeling that pull, you're feeling that desire, but it's feeling a little bit overwhelming right now. So if there's any part of you that feels in alignment with what Michelle has been sharing today and the energy that she has, I highly recommend that you spend some time with her and go and hang out next week, get to know some of her community. She has a beautiful community as well, and see if this might be the space for you to start birthing your business. Because as we step into this year of 2021, the energy is all about creating big change. It's all about crumbling and dismantling the parts that don't work anymore. And in order to do so, we start to then birth and create and cultivate what we're aligned with, what does work, what feels right in terms of that unity consciousness and being of service to others. And this lady right here, Michelle, she's got what you need to help you bring that business into being, and to do it with that structure and keep that feminine flow as well. I love it.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, Dion. Wow, you wrapped that up like a beautiful package with a bow on it.
Well, I just adore you.
I adore you too. I love it. And can I just say, I know we're wrapping up, but I'm loving your book, right? I'm a slow reader, but it's like I'm going, oh my God, that is me. That's in my head. She's in my head. So thank you.
Thank you for that. If you, whoever is listening here, if you don't follow me on Instagram or Michelle, I shared the other day, Michelle had shared a photo of Feminine Warrior that she was reading at the beach. Was this the same time as the dog's water situation? Yeah. Oh, it just made me so happy, and to know that the words that flowed through me are finding their way around the world and are being read by sisters and women alike who can see themselves in it is just such a gift to my heart to hear that. So thank you for taking the time to share it. I really appreciate that. And hopefully I will get to see you in person next January in New Zealand. Fingers crossed.
Yes.
Okay, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for those of you who joined us live in the Empowered Woman Collective. I think I'm going to keep doing this moving forward. It's super fun. So if you're listening to the podcast or if you're watching on YouTube and you want to be part of a live edition, then come join the Empowered Woman Collective on Facebook. Super fun, inclusive community. All of us are just loving up on each other and letting us be who we are, letting ourselves express exactly who we are in each moment, letting us go through the crap, letting us go through the joy, and bringing it all together as one. And if you're interested in spending some time with Michelle, I'll make sure that I've got some additional links for you as well. Ladies who are in the group right now, just go click and be friends with her. Just hang out, send her a message, say you love the conversation and you want to hang out. And thank you to those of you who commented in and shared live with us. It's been incredible. Mwah, mwah. Thank you, Michelle, for all of your wisdom, all of your love. I'll talk to you all soon.
Thanks, Deanna. Bye, everyone.